There's something about a fast-paced, cosmopolitan city that truly inspires entrepreneurs. As part of Local Success Season 2, I will be introducing you to 12 very talented entrepreneurs. As we follow their journey, we discover what it took for them to get to where they are today. The Middle East region's e-commerce industry is expected to grow to $15 billion by 2015. Globally, we're looking at a $1.4 trillion market in the next 3 years, and that's according to the Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Locally in the UAE, Omar Qasim, the founder of online electronics store JadoPado, says that they've got very ambitious plans for the future. How were you so certain that JadoPado was going to be a success and that it was actually going to work?
A lot of people sort of think that they can come in and create a really great e-commerce business in 1 or 2 years, or maybe sometimes even a little bit less, and then possibly sell it to someone. Our view, I think, is we're in a sort of 7 to 10 year play at the moment, and we're 2.5, almost 3 years into this play right now, and I think in about 7 years or so we should see significant scale out of the business.
And initially, when wanting to set up your e-commerce platform, JadoPado, what were some of your initial challenges?
I think the challenge around the business was essentially trying to say that, okay, here's this opportunity for e-commerce. There are more and more people online. They are transacting, and a lot of people today, I think the majority of e-commerce in the region is happening with customers essentially buying product from other regions, not necessarily buying product from firms that are local or regional. And the reason is the quality of service and the quality of product available, and the availability of product range and so on. So for us, we felt that there is an opportunity, but the challenge is how do you come up with the right business model? How do you sort of say to customers that, hey, I'm this new local e-commerce business, and you should use me because.
Let's say I'm the more traditional, old-fashioned type of a consumer that goes into a store and wants to have a hands-on sort of experience with the product. How would you then persuade a consumer like myself to then switch or shift completely to then just online purchases?
That's essentially been our mission over the last 3 years. How do you convince customers that e-commerce, both locally as well as within the region, makes sense? There are a couple of things that are so evolving there. One is, as consumers in this part of the world get more sophisticated, as income levels go up, as sort of the amount of time that you've got shrinks because of work commitments and so on and so forth, people then start looking at, okay, I want to buy this product, but I don't necessarily want to go to a store, need to go to a store. I've got other objectives in life. And I think the value of e-commerce is the product is coming to you rather than you going to the product.
You've got very ambitious plans for this year. Have most of these goals been achieved, and what do you sort of hope to then achieve for the rest of this year?
Yes and no. Yeah, we're very ambitious as a business, but at the same time, I think you have to be patient about the business that you're building out. So I think in our first year, we were $1 million business. In our second, we were a $4 million business. This is from a top line perspective. And then this year, we should grow that by at least 50%. We were significantly more ambitious than that, but we run an April to March year. So technically, we're still sort of halfway through our third quarter. So we've still got another quarter to go. So we could, sort of hit our more ambitious targets, but we'll see how it goes.
And what is the expected market growth for e-commerce, whether it's globally or even just regionally?
It really depends who you ask, and I think it depends on how you define e-commerce. For example, if you ask someone like Visa, e-commerce is anything that's an electronic payment or where it's transacted electronically. And for us, I think e-commerce is basically the movement of physical product. So I think different components of the market are growing at slightly different rates. But I think in general, I think within the region, anywhere between 20 to 50% growth is expected.
Would you refer to Europe as being the pioneers of e-commerce?
Europe came back came into the market pretty quickly after the States. Today, I think from a standout perspective, the UK is probably sort of the most penetrated e-commerce market. So about 20% of retail in the UK happens via e-commerce. In the States, I think it's between 6 to 8%. So, and whereas out here, I think we're still well under 1%. So that's where the opportunity is essentially. Amazon today is 20 years old. Apple today is easily almost touching 40. And all of your great brands that are doing well today didn't actually start yesterday. They've been doing this for many, many years, and it takes time to essentially evolve your brand and your business. So while recognition is nice, we know that we're on on sort of the initial path towards a long journey. So hopefully we'll keep at it and see where it takes us.